Brand new coupe, paper tags, no roof, so baby, let me drop my shit. No, can't see me, nigga, can't beat me, nigga, hell nah, you talking about shit. Talking about shit, this ain't basic, told up, baby, let me pop my shit. I came from the bottom of the motherfucking problem, so a nigga put powder all over my bitch. With a brand new coupe, paper tags, no roof, so baby, let me drop my shit. No, can't see me, nigga, can't beat me, nigga, hell nah, you talking.
Yo, what's the word? How y'all feeling? I know it's been a week and we have been off, but we are back. Our bad. We have just been a little busy, but we are back in motion. This is the If You Love Me podcast. This is your host, your boy Paid in Full Stacks, and the lovely
Mrs. AP.
And we are on our 16th episode. So whoever that's been holding on with us, we definitely appreciate y'all for real. Like everybody that's tuning in weekly and, taking the time out y'all day to, just click that link. We appreciate it, and we want y'all to continue and spread the word. We are definitely still locked in with y'all. So,
little disclaimer.
yes, so the disclaimer, we are not marriage counselors. We, however, are a married couple, and we are basically just giving you all our
opinions. We here to
personal
help
opinions. That's
answer
it.
some questions, whatever that may be.
Yes, so also, I won't bring that one into this episode. I'll actually hold that off until next week, so stay tuned. But I got something big for us, so y'all just keep an eye out for that. I won't forget. Now, like I said, we are on episode 16, and this episode is about...
We're talking about relationships, so just more relationship stuff. So I was just getting a lot of questions from, feedback really from friends and family and people who do listen to the show. So they had, just a series of questions. So I kind of pulled them in and then put them into particular episodes.
Okay.
And then so it was just crazy while, putting these questions in that we started watching this new show. That dating show we were watching on network. I think it's called Put a Ring on It or something.
Yeah. It's crazy.
So it was really interesting because they basically couples. One of them may want to get married and the other one is not so ready to get married. And then they go on the show and they talk to a therapist and she's like, trying to help them through their relationship problems, but they going on dates with other people.
Exactly.
And so that's weird. So. They just had some things going on, and like I said, some people been posing some questions, so we'll just roll that back in a minute, but we'll start with the first question. So I'll ask you, babe.
What's the first?
What do you think someone's partner can do to prevent them from cheating? Like, do you think there are preventative methods to stop someone from cheating?
Honestly, I don't necessarily think that there's nothing that you can do to stop somebody from cheating if that's what their goal is and if that's what they're seeking out to do. I think that that's something that requires too much energy, and even if you physically stop them once, twice, or however many times, if that's where their heart is at and that's really, really what they want to do, then they're going to complete their mission. So, and I feel like, if a person or if you see somebody that's in a situation that it seems like they're kind of like forcing that envelope and trying to, be on that type of level, then shit, I think that, trying to stop them isn't going to do anything but make them go, I think, further to it. You know what I mean? Like, you could kind of like bring a person up and tell them how it makes you feel as far as like, how it's affecting you. And hopefully that'll make them change. But if it's not really something that they really want to change, I don't think that you're going to be able to make them change by like doing that type of shit.
It's been this clip going around. I guess it's a woman saying to stop your man from cheating, your man should never leave the house on full. Basically, that you should be doing something to satisfy your man before he leaves the house so that he doesn't long for other women or maybe deter. Do you think that is a factor as to why men leave? Like, do you think that women should be doing that? Like, well, she should give him some, or she should, give him some fellatio before she leave the house, or what?
Okay, so look, I'm gonna be honest, right? So when I was younger, I was watching some show. This is not the first time I've ever heard that, though, just being honest. So it was a movie a long time ago. I can't even think of the name of it right now, but it was basically kind of like along those lines, and that was kind of like their dynamics in their relationship. Like, but I feel like if a person, like I just said, really wants to cheat, then no matter if they're, full or not full, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like that's not something that's going to necessarily stop it. I feel like, in some cases, just coming from a man, if he gets that release, honestly, like before leaving the crib, then not saying that that's what should have been on his mind before leaving the crib, but that's definitely not what's on his mind anymore when leaving the crib. You get what I'm saying? Because like that's not sex is not even on the table anymore because it's not even a thought. You get what I'm saying? Because he's already been satisfied. Like he's good. You know what I'm saying? Like I've already had my fun. So whatever I'm doing outside is like strictly whatever I sought out to do to handle whatever I'm out here to do. No, you don't have to do that though, is what I'm saying though. It's not something that you have to do to stop him from cheating. Like I just said, because if he wants to still cheat, then he will still cheat. Because cheating ain't just having sex with somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't mean that he can't still go slide on a bitch and be like, yo, what up, woo, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's still considered cheating, right? That's still cheating, right?
Yes, that is still definitely still cheating, but I just don't know why do y'all think that way? Like, honestly, maybe 80% of women do not orgasm every time they have sex. So, like, if she leave the house, she not thinking about who can make her come. So, like, why, even if you see something attractive, do you think, like, I should have sex with her because I didn't have any today? Like, because what does that matter? Like, why do I have to tame you as an adult to make you not have sex nowhere when there's just a 50-50 chance that you may not cheat? Like, I just don't think that people should have to have control over anyone for them not to cheat. Like,
I don't think that sex should be a thing that should be such a big thing where it's like, if I don't get it right this second or whatever, then if I go outside and see something that's like that, then I'm gonna get on that. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, because I feel like at that point, sex itself has too much control over me, period. If I have to think like that, you know what I'm saying? Like, and that's requiring too much of a thought for me, like, when I'm out here trying to do all of this other shit that I should be doing or trying to do as far as, like, being busy and, handling business during the day. So I feel like if sex is that big to you, then it's occupying too much time.
Right, but even sex may not just be, like the only way that people control each other in a relationship. Like, because there can be other preventative methods. Like, men can maybe think that he gonna control his girlfriend from not cheating. So if he is like the breadwinner, then he don't give her money. Or even if they work a job and it's collective bills, then maybe he'll, make her not be able to get her hair done or buy a new outfit. So she not going outside because he thinks as soon as she get a new outfit, she cheating. So he maybe controls her cheating with finances.
Yeah.
Again, I just don't believe that if you have to do all that, like, you probably shouldn't be with that person. Like, if you literally have to control them, like, puppeteer their lives, like, because if you cheat, then it's out of here, or, you know what I'm saying? Like, there just shouldn't be that type of control. Like, not in the sense where, like, y'all share a home together and, he or she cheats, and now, of course, you want them to get out. But if y'all both on a lease, technically y'all roommates and y'all just gonna have to tough it out until the lease is up, because why should that person have to leave just because y'all decided not to be together anymore?
Right. Yeah, I mean, I feel like whenever you have, like you just said, if you gotta go to the extremes of trying to control somebody with different measures of, like, you know what I'm saying, money, sex, all of that type of shit, that means that all those things mean entirely too much to the person that you're trying to control it with. You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm trying to control you with this, and if it moves you, then that means that shit got too much control over you. You feel me? Like, because you can't control me with sex, you can't control me with money, you can't control me, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, any of that shit, because at the end of the day, all of that shit is stuff that I feel like it's not that important. You know what I'm saying? It can be fun, it can be useful, but it's not to the point where it's important necessarily. And I feel like that's what motherfuckers don't really get. So when dudes get to having females, they feel like, bad as hell, and a female learn that she can have that type of control over a man, she started using sex as a way of controlling him. Like, oh no, if you're not doing this, that, and third, I ain't doing shit type shit. So now this nigga out here literally turning himself inside the fuck out, or, doing all type of shit to try to keep up, or vice versa with, a woman and a man type shit.
So like using sex as a weapon.
Yeah.
Right.
Sex and money it's a deadly weapon.
And weaponize it in a relationship.
Yes, that shit is vicious.
So in speaking in control, that brings me to the next subject about gender roles in a relationship. What do you think are, let's just say, household roles in a marriage and not necessarily just in a girlfriend-boyfriend relationship? Like, who do you think should pay the bills? Like, if it's 50-50, what should the woman pay? What should the man pay? Kind of thing. On just money roles, money management in the house, not necessarily gender roles.
Well, honestly speaking, I think that women, I feel like this. Women shouldn't have to pay the bills necessarily, right? Okay, so for example, if we stay in the house together and I pay the rent, like if I'm paying the rent or whatever, and cause like sometimes I be forgetting shit, you know what I'm saying? Like, so I forget like due dates of light bills, due dates of gas bills, all that different type of shit, right? So me off back, I'm not gonna forget rent. That's just not gonna happen. Like, I'm not gonna forget rent. I know when rent is due. Rent is due between the 1st and the 5th every month. I'm not gonna forget that. So for that, I'm gonna take care of that. I don't think that a woman should have to do that if you are living in a house. If she has a man in her house, I don't think that the woman should have to pay rent, because I feel like, in all honesty, that's not how I was raised by my dad. My dad, what I saw him do is literally go to work and come home, and he paid my grandma's rent. Shit, he paid his wife's rent. You know what I mean? Like, he just took care of the finances as far as that end of it. But bill-wise, they took care of their own bills. Like, they paid their own phone bills. They paid their own light bills. They did that type of shit. So, for that reason, I think that we should be able to do it and have no issue with that. So, whenever you got a relationship or whatever, then I think that you should do it that way.
Well, if you live together in the same household.
Yeah, like if you live together in the same household.
Husband and wife, so yeah, in the same household.
I feel like this. Ain't no way that the woman should be in there paying more than what the dude is paying. I'll put it like that.
So what about if it's like hard times and like
shit happens when sometimes roles get reversed.
But how long is too long for him to sit around and not make no money? As a man, how long is too long? Because I think if you've been sitting around for 2 months and you're not getting up to go do nothing, like no side hustle, you're not trying to figure out a business plan, you're not actively looking for no job, but I'm out here and I'm paying all the bills, and then you want to sit up and drink and play video games or, fuck around, like, I think that's unacceptable behavior. Like,
ain't no way if you a grown-ass man and you watching your woman sit around and take care of everything, and it shouldn't bother you. Like, it just should bother you. You feel me? Like, it's no way. Like, if I'm living in a house with you and me and you are, sleeping together, just period. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that, like, once we decide we're going to live in the same house, now I should be relieving a little bit of your stress, if not majority of it. You know what I mean? Because, like, when you find this partner and this, this person that you want to be with, now shit should get a little easier. You feel me? Like, it shouldn't get harder. How is it that you bring somebody into your situation and then they not contributing, which is now making your shit twice as hard? That don't make sense to me. You know what I mean? Like, at that point, you might as well just be alone. Because you know what I'm saying? You killing yourself twice as fast. Like, life already hard. You see how these gas prices and fucking rent and all this shit surpassing all these numbers. Like, shit hard enough. So to sit around and let a motherfucker just use you, or you know, like you be the motherfucker like in the negative. Now understand this, like I said, if the man is handling all of that, then there should be also a certain amount of, things that's done in the household
Right,
from the woman.
gratitude and appreciation.
You get what I'm saying?
I
Like
agree.
that's just an even exchange because like every day I'm getting up putting you first. You feel me? So we should be meeting each other somewhere where all of us feel like this is like beneficial to us all. You feel me? Like I'm cool with making sure that I get out here and go hustle and make sure that we have what we have. But you meeting me in the middle with making sure when I get home, you know what I'm saying? Like I said, that I have food or, you know what I'm saying? Like my clothes is clean and, you know what I mean? Like that type of shit. Like if you know, there's any situations where I need to talk or, you know, have a motherfucker to be there, then, you know, we got that type of bond. It definitely shouldn't be a time where we doing more arguing than loving on each other when a motherfucker's sitting out and really like putting forth an effort to make sure shit is a little easier on you. You know what I'm saying? So ladies, that's one thing that you gotta also pay attention to too, like view it from his point of view. Like if he is contributing and he putting shit and he out making an effort, then you gotta meet him in the middle. You know what I'm saying? Like you gotta be able to still do some compromising and, you know, making sure that he gets, you know, his needs met too.
I agree. I think if you are a stay-at-home mom, or if you have the luxury of not being a mom and you stay at home and somebody paying your bills, he should definitely have food. Even if you went to go out and pick up food, like he should have food when he come home. You know, you should. I mean, get a drink and relax him. You know,
because you have to think about it like this too. Like females be crazy as fuck. Like not all, and excuse me. Like I said, I'm just being honest. Some, not all. But a motherfucker will be out doing all this trying to make sure they get shit done or whatever, make money or whatever, right? You know, handling business, right? And then instead of trying to do what we talking about, like the food, you know, all this bullshit or whatever, it's more so where you at? What you doing? Who you with? Like, man, what the fuck? Would you calm down? Like, bro, you're driving me fucking nuts. Like, you're driving me nuts. Like, y'all don't think women sometimes understand, like, especially when the nigga like legit like, alright, so listen, I agree, I ain't on shit. We on this page, and this is what we finna be on. Like I said, I ain't on shit. But when a motherfucker still like like calling you and doing all that crazy ass shit, it's like, come on, bro, please, like, give me some motherfuckers, like, give me some energy, like, outside of that shit, like, cause nobody wanna have that type of shit when they literally, like I said, doing all of what they doing. But yeah, to answer your question, I think that that's women and women should definitely meet at a certain level in the roles, and men should definitely do more providing. You know what I'm saying? Like that's what I was taught. You know what I'm saying? Men should provide, and that's what you should do in any situation. How you got kids with this woman and she's doing more and putting forth more energy than you. You know what I'm saying? That make you look weak as hell, no matter what. Like, I don't give a fuck what the kid may think or what nobody else may, you know, look at you as. The truth of the situation is how you sleep at night watching somebody do this, and you know you okay with it.
Right. So I have another. I'll do just a question. So somebody said, if someone refuses to tell the truth about something, does that mean you are going along with the lie, all while simultaneously lying to yourself? I guess they're saying, like, if you ask your significant other, like, you know, are you cheating on me? But you saw the proof in their phone, or you caught them, or somebody told you about they cheating, and then they come up with a lie for you.
Right.
Are you? If you stay, does that mean that you're choosing to believe the lie? And if you're choosing to believe that lie, does that mean you're lying to yourself? I think that's lying to yourself.
I think that it's lying to yourself, but I will say this. If you honestly know the truth and it's not because you're not necessarily staying because you believe what the person told you. You staying because you want to stay. Like, I'm not staying because I believe you. Because I don't believe you. You know I don't believe you. I saw the shit. Like, bro, I'm not fucking stupid. I'm staying because I want to stay. See, that's why I say, like, a lot of times I think people think that when you stay, that you basically making yourself like, oh, I didn't. That means that I'm blind and I didn't really, that didn't happen.
But, when you do stay, does that mean that you're okay with what is happening? Like, if you do stay, do that mean that you forgive it or that you are just okay with it happening?
I'll put it like this. If you stay, you're not okay with it happening per se, but you are willing to say that you want to move forward. Like, if you stay and you saying you're going to stay, then you're agreeing to move forward. So if you're agreeing to move forward, we can't live in that situation. Because if we're going to live in that situation, then you should leave. Honestly, like, you should leave because you can't make somebody go through something and be like, all right, well, we gonna do this and we gonna do that, and now all of a sudden this is just some long ass drawn out ass process on trying to rebuild something.
Right, but not even that. Like, it's not even the forgiveness piece or whether I forgave it or not.
Right.
It's really just saying, like, I mean, if somebody keeps cheating on you like a first time, a second time, it's not to say that, oh yeah, I forgave you by tomorrow and it's okay. I mean, I truly think people stay because they hope that person changes and they're not going to cheat anymore.
Right.
But at the same token, because they did already, then by definition they are a cheater, so they may do it again. So does that mean that, if you just go along with it and y'all don't have no conversation and you just don't make them fess up to the truth, I think that is making that person think that you think that you believe they lied, like they got away with it. Because honestly, how many of your friends have cheated on their girlfriend and then came and told you, like, yeah, she got that shit in my phone, yeah, but I spent it and I told her it was this, that, and the third. And then that girl go to her friend and tell the lie, although she know it's a lie. Like, you know that your man is cheating on you, but you out here telling somebody else. I think that is pure delusion, and you are truly lying to yourself. Truly lying to yourself and thinking that he not going to do it again.
The fucked up part about it is...
Or she do it again.
This is the sad part about that right there, right? Is sometimes people prefer that.
Like what?
They prefer that. They prefer to be lied to. Like, to have it in their mind that the scenario didn't go exactly the way that it went down. Because, like I said, so for example, you got a person, and this person, like, all right, let's say, for instance, it's me. It's a female or whatever, and she like, yeah, you know what I'm saying, I fuck with him, and woo, and third or whatever. This my, this my man, basically. And you like, wait, huh? Like, what the fuck you mean? Like, this doesn't make any sense. How is this your man type shit, right? And I turn around and tell you, like, yeah, I don't even know who the fuck that is. Like, period. Like, never met her.
Right.
Never seen this bitch at all. Like, I really don't know who that is. That's some weird ass bitch. Like, she's crazy. And you've seen like a thread of text messages to show like this has been like a back and forth thing. Like, it's not like a one time conversation. This has been like a few different scenarios where y'all done talked. Or, FaceTime or whatever the case may be, or even been around this person, you know what I'm saying? So it's not that. But you choose to believe me instead.
Yeah, I think that's a conscious.
That's a conscious decision to be living in a lie. Yes, that's definitely that. Because you prefer this right now because you want this to be like, because you want to. I feel like this, and correct me if I'm wrong. I feel like, honestly, what that is you want to feel like I care for you more. Like, more than the situation itself, so I wouldn't do that. So, basically, whatever it is that I'm being accused of.
Right, you choose to believe like, you couldn't do that to me.
That you wouldn't do that to me. So, for that reason, like, I don't believe that. I'm going to believe you. You know what I'm saying? And then I think that you sit in that for so long, and then after you sit in that for so long and you catch a motherfucker a couple more times, then you start getting into the point of, now I know that this is really what this is.
But I think even then, like, you know what it is, but then you start subconsciously or unintentionally, rather, you start unintentionally making excuses for his behavior. Like, say for instance, you called him up cheating, or you call her up cheating, and you call that person that they cheating with, and they tell you this whole list of stuff that they've been doing. Like, yeah, we be together all the time. Yeah, we go eat. I had no clue he or she was in a relationship.
Right.
And this is a shock to me. I can't believe it. And then you sitting on the other end of the phone because you want this person so bad, because I don't know what it is about, especially women, like wanting to just prove like I'm the better one, like it's me, he loves me, he don't care about her, that you would
That's
go
why I
and
just
try
said,
to
like,
poke
you love
holes
me
in her
more
story.
than the situation.
Yeah, but you would try to poke holes in her story, like, oh no, he couldn't have been doing this, he couldn't have been staying out at her house, he always at home. Like, maybe when he spent the nights with her, maybe she worked more, maybe she worked nights and he spent all day with her while you at work. You never know, but you over here trying to convince yourself that he loved you so much, like he couldn't be doing that. So you poking holes in her story to make it more believable for yourself, that you don't even then go even approach him about it. You say nothing about it. You even go to the extent like it's not even the cheating. Like I don't even care about that part. Like it's the disrespect. Like, well, the disrespect is the cheating. He's been disrespectful.
That's where it started. Where it started. It started with that alone. But like you just said, if you, I put it like this, right? If a motherfucker, if it's in your face and you truly, because like I said, right, you can only live in the dark for so long. If you don't know about it, then it's one thing. But the minute you start knowing about some shit, that's a whole other thing.
Mm-hmm.
You feel me? Like, now when you don't know and you just not finding out, it's like, oh, alright, well, I ain't know this, I just not found this out. If I choose to stay past this point or whatever and don't shit else happen, then cool. But if something else happened, then I know how to go from here. Motherfuckers be like letting shit happen back to back, and then be acting like they just dumb as fuck. Like, you ain't never that stupid, bro. Exactly. You're not that stupid, bro. Like, come on now.
It's
like,
in your face.
It's no way in hell. Like, nobody is that blind by love where they don't know when something's intentionally being done to them. You know what I mean? Like, 'cause this is intentional. Like, this person not gonna change for you or nobody else. This is who they are. And that's the problem. Motherfuckers always want to change people, I feel like. Like, you can't change nobody. You can't make nobody be no way for you or, none of that type of stuff, because, like, that just, it doesn't work like that. So, to answer that question, definitely,
you be lying to yourself.
You lying to yourself, and you are agreeing to whatever
you
it
are
is that
settling. Yes,
you're agreeing. You're agreeing.
You are saying it's okay.
I don't give a fuck what nobody say. Like, let's be clear for sure. You are agreeing to that if you choose to go forward
and stay with
after that. If you continuously have something going on like that and you agree to that, that's moving forward with it.
So that brings to the next question. To forgiveness, like, after infidelity, then what is like a timely manner that a person who committed the infidelity should they just stick around or just take it? Like, so it's a 2-part question. So we'll start with the beginning. Like, how long is too long to get over infidelity? Like, how long is taking too long to forgive an indiscretion? So, say for instance, if I cheated one time 2 years ago, 3 years ago, or whatever, and it was just the one time that it happened, and we talked about it. I didn't get caught, but I came to you, or even if I did caught, let's say I got caught, and then we talk about it, and then we go through this, and it's whatever, right?
Mm-hmm.
How long is too long for you to forgive me? Like, or if it was vice versa, how long is too long for me to forgive you and your indiscretions? Like, should it still be a year 3? Like, oh, I still ain't got over it yet. And then if you haven't gotten over it, if you haven't gotten over it, is it okay for you to now punish your significant other, meaning like you don't trust them, so you question their every move, you want to track their phone, you want to search their phone, you want all their passwords, they can't go nowhere without you, they can't do nothing without you, everything you question, every time it's an argument, like how long is too long to just take that type of torture, like, because that then turns into abuse. Like, you know, you can understand that you committed an infidelity and like you're apologetic and you really trying to work on you, but at 3 years or even a year, I think is just a really long time to make somebody suffer through something. If you saying that you forgave them, that don't mean forget, but
if you dealing with somebody, I'll put it like this: if it's serious, I'll say maybe 6 months. But 6 months of working though.
Right.
Not 6 months of like we just on bone. But 6 months of, okay, so this is a probationary period. This 6 months is going to include, you know, rebuilding trust, rebuilding the intimacy,
Right. So,
rebuilding all that type of shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? That's how I look at 6 months on something serious.
right. So what about if those stipulations on those 6 months are like, well, there's no sex during this 6 month period that we basically starting over with celibacy, so I can try to gain back trust and you can't have sex with nobody else. Would you think that that is a crazy stipulation to put on someone when trying to gain back trust? Or maybe like 3 months and there's no celibacy, no sex because we're trying to gain this back because you basically want
if
to
you love
see.
that person, then it's not about sex. So for that reason, 90 days is well enough time to
But
be
6
able
months
to
is
work.
excessive.
6 months is pushing it. You know, give me some ass. That
6 months
because
is
that's
pushing
too long. Like 6 months is too long. Now 3 months we can deal with that. Because 3 months, I understand, like I said, each month being a different layer of security.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So 90 days, I feel like it's cool.
So now the second part of that question, how long is too long to just sit around and take it? So let's say this after this 3 month probationary period of sex and like, is she still just not in it? Now she give you sex because she in the relationship still, so she like, okay, we gonna have sex, but she's still just not forgiving you. She not giving you no space. She breathing down your neck, and every day it's an argument. No matter what you do, she question everything you say. You know, every time somebody on the phone, she, who's that? Who's that? Put him on speaker. How long is too long to deal with that before you just say, I can't do this no more. I can't make you happy. You know, I hurt you so bad. I need to
that
leave.
shit, if no nothing in the relationship quicker, it will be that. That'd be the shit that, because like, alright, yeah, nigga fucked up, or yeah, she fucked up, or whatever, right? But if you gonna sit around and be doing this shit every day, gee, I am miserable. So now I'm really damn near finna be pushing towards the shit that you don't like, because I don't want to sit in this shit. Like, if we gonna work towards trying to fix it, then let's work towards trying to fix it. No, I'm not saying let's have sex. No, I'm not saying let your guard down, goddamn it, and forgive me today.
Mm-hmm.
Like, but I am saying everything shouldn't result in an argument or you constantly being moody or snappy or your responses being mean and rude or, you know, all that type of shit, because it's like, how do you, okay, so now I understand you're upset, but how do you want me to move from this point? Like, you're telling me you want me to rebuild these type of things, but if you treat me like shit throughout the whole entire process, then, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta, I'm not saying you don't have to be, ladies or gentlemen, you know, I'm not saying you gotta give in now.
Mm-hmm.
But what I am saying is there's a certain amount of respect that kind of still has to go with this to make this work if y'all gonna be together. If you can't do that, then I say leave.
Yeah, if you can't, you know, respect the space, or even respect yourself enough to not have to, you know, stoop that low for somebody to have to gain back your trust. I mean, like, I don't think that gaining back trust mean that they have to now be enslaved to you, or, you know, have to
motherfuckers be want to go too
move.
crazy. Like, motherfuckers be, I want to go with you everywhere. I'm calling you every second, every minute when you're not with me. I got a tracker on your car. It's on your iCloud.
I pull up at bars and shit.
Yeah, it's like, god damn, like, gee. If it's, I mean, I know I fucked up. Like I said, we not taking nothing away from the person that did what they did, because they still some slimy motherfuckers and they bogus. But it's like, you can't move forward if you're constantly looking back.
So I mean, basically, just to just to wrap that up and then move forward. Um, what about boundaries in a relationship? So, for example, if one of the people in a relationship wants a baby, for example, and the other one doesn't. So, say for instance, I get you pregnant, and you decide you don't want to keep the baby. Is if you go forward with getting an abortion without telling me, should that be considered disrespectful, and is that a deal breaker where the relationship should be dealt with and over? Because that's a big drastic decision I feel like to make without at least telling somebody that that's what you're gonna do.
Okay, so I definitely can see what you mean. Like it's a big decision to make without including the other person. I guess it just depends on a certain level of circumstances on what's happening in the relationship. You know, like me being a woman, but also being a mother, there will be some key factors in my decision on whether I want to have an abortion or not. Like, it's not an easy decision for women to make, to just have an abortion. Like, not us who use them responsibly. Like, you know what I'm saying? I guess some can say that there is no responsible way to use an abortion, but, like, I guess if situation in your relationship where there is a lot of, maybe there's some abuse or some drug abuse or some financial woes or some infidelity that's happening in the relationship, or it's just not the right time, or maybe she doesn't think she'll be a good mom, that she decides to have an abortion. Before, I think that I would just make the decision without including the man's decision. Now, being an adult and being a mom, I would definitely still consult that man, because that doesn't mean that his decision is going to change my mind. It just means that you're now included in this decision because you gave half DNA to this baby that is inside me, so you should know what's happening with me. I think that it's respectable for you to at least know what's happening. You may not be, I may not come to you and say, what's your decision?
Yeah, because at the end of the day, it is your body. And I think that's the only reason why I asked that is because, our topic tonight is basically just more so around roles and, that type of thing. And just creating boundaries in general with those roles. I think that, sometimes women can feel like, well, it's my body. So it's my body, I do what the fuck I want to do, I'm keeping the baby. Or it's my body, I do what I want to do, I'm getting an abortion. Mm-hmm. And I think that, sometimes that type of decision, it being such a big decision, like, so for example, let's say for instance, he doesn't want the child, but you do. And then you go ahead and keep that child. Like, yes, he made that decision by putting that baby in you. But in the same sense, if y'all were just having fun or y'all wasn't really on that type of level or, that type of time, and y'all were just kind of like, just doing whatever, and then that happens, I think that you should give him at least the benefit of the situation and be able to ask him. Not even necessarily ask him, but just be able to say like, well, I'm thinking about keeping my baby. If he gives his opinion on, well, I'm not really this, that, and the third or whatever, then you could then just say like, all right, well, I'm not expecting for you to do this, that, and the third or whatever. I want my baby, so that's what I'm doing.
That brings the question, right? The other day I was on the phone with my mom and we were talking about, something along this topic or whatever. And I was just saying, like, it is kind of messed up, us as women, we do have that ultimate decision to whether keep that baby or not keep that baby, right? Mm-hmm. And it is kind of messed up because either way, the man got to roll with it. He don't have no option, no say so, unless he is your husband. He just gonna have to roll with it. So if he say I want the baby, and you say no, buddy, it's not happening, I'm going to the clinic, it's done for. Right. You know what I'm saying? He just gotta deal with that. Or if you decide I'm keeping my baby, then he got to deal with that, and now he has to be mandated to pay child support.
You know what I mean?
And I think that yes, he had an option, to have protected sex with you or whatever, but it is kind of messed up. Like, especially when women use the judicial system to force men to pay for a baby that they didn't want. Like, he doesn't have a say-so on where his money goes when he told you that that's not what he wanted. Like, it comes down, when women get pregnant, it comes down to what she wants and never what the man wants.
Right.
And that's kind of hard. Like, I guess that is our, what do you call it? What do you call that?
What you mean?
Oh, our double standard. That's the women's double standard.
Right.
Like, you know, because we make those ultimate decisions about being mothers, and we make men fathers, even some who aren't ready to be. Or we take away the option for them to be fathers and they never be. Like, that's our double standard. Where men can get away with sleeping with women and not be labeled a whore, women can get away with putting men on child support and keeping or not keeping a baby.
Without
a choice.
Right. Like, I can't do anything about that because it's now in you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So at that point, I'm like canceled out of that situation. And either way, I'm like, kind of like, you know, I feel something in this. Like, if you keep it, then I feel that, you know what I'm saying, now I have to take care of my responsibility for the role I played. Mm-hmm. And if you don't, and I did want it, then now I'm being robbed of the experience.
Right,
you know what I'm saying? So
yeah.
it's a rough situation.
It is.
And I think that only reason why, you know, like I said, we wanted to touch bases on that particular subject right there is just to let people know, like, if that situation was to occur in your life, you know, in our opinion, rather, we just feel like I would give the person at least the awareness of what's going on.
Yeah.
Now, if we gonna go forward and keep the baby or whatever, if I'm gonna go forward and, you know, not if she goes forward and not keep the baby or keeps the baby, then, you know what I'm saying, that's something, that's another conversation, and, you know, that's a whole nother, you know, topic. But as far as not knowing all the way around the board, and then you pop back up 6-7 months later with or I'm about to have my baby next month, and it's like, what the fuck? Like, you told me you took a plan B and that you was taking my $300 to go get a fucking abortion.
Right.
But you didn't go do neither. Like, you didn't take the plan B. You asked, because girls be doing all type of shit. Like, all right, here's the plan B. I took it. You didn't take it. Then it'd be like, all right, well, give me $300. I'm going to go get an abortion. Get it $300. Don't go get the abortion. Pop back up 8 months later. I'm finna have the baby in the next 30 days or in the next week or something. Like, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like that's kind of like, it's crazy as hell, in my opinion. And
so, what do you think about, like, what do you think about that? Like, do you think that I think that is crazy.
That's dirty.
That's dirty. Pop up on the scene and, like, trick him. Like, I think the trickery is not okay. I think that any man, you should want to be there. Like, you, as a man who impregnated her, you lay down with her, you made the baby. Yeah. Even if you don't agree with her decision to have an abortion, I think you should be right there with her, you know, going through the experience. It is a really awkward situation. It is really hard for some women to make that decision. Even if they want the abortion, it can just really take a toll on you.
Right.
You know, so needless to say, we are definitely, for abortions when, like I said, when done used in the right way, you know, because there are some wrong ways. Some women do abuse abortions, you know, having 2, 3, 4 abortions in 1 year is absurd. So yeah, as I was saying, like, you know, abortions are not, I don't classify them as a form of birth control. I think that they are last resort options. If you don't want to have children, there are many other preventative methods before abortions. You have birth control. Before birth control, you got condoms. You got diaphragms. You got birth control. You got Plan Bs. And then absolutely, if your baby survive all that, then maybe you should try an abortion, or maybe it's meant to be. Right. You know. But all in all, like you said before, I do think respectfully the woman should always notify the man on what's going on. If he is the father of your child, he should have some input. He should at least have knowledge of, or, you know, what's happening.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, just give each other that benefit, because, you know, we want to make sure that we bring the kids that need to be here, you know what I'm saying, in healthy households.
And love. You
know, and love environments. And not just, you know, ones that's just because we wanted to have fun this one particular night type of thing, you know? Yeah. So, I mean, just to kind of like wrap it up really quick, we wanted to, you know, like I said, just kind of see what you all's thoughts were on roles in the households, and just as far as like, bills and, all those different type of things. Just seeing how you all view you all situation and how you feel like somebody should or shouldn't, help you or support you, and if there is a certain amount of support that the man should give over the woman or vice versa. But we believe, like I said, kind of like in the old fashioned way of, dealing with each other. Like, so we do things the right way, I feel like.
Well, we thank you guys for joining us. We will see you next time on the next episode of the If You Love Me podcast. I am your hostess, Mrs. AP.
And your boy Paid in Full Stacks. It is a wrap. We
Have a
will
good
see you
night.
all on the next episode. We out.